Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Ultima VII. Alright, let's go into the Fellowship Hall in Moonglow. Hey! Hey! The man greets you with a pleasant smile. Name? Thou mayest call me Rankin, Elmendretta. Job? I am the new branch leader of the Fellowship here in Moonglow. Tell me about the Fellowship. The Fellowship is a group that has been gaining much popularity in recent years with the people of Britannia. Of course, that's only because no one has discovered our secret intentions. While on the surface it may simply appear to be a scholarly society studying its particular philosophy, it is in fact a terribly disturbing organization bent on conquest of the world. But you didn't hear any of that from me. Its teachings have the power to forever alter the shape of Britannian society. Its ceremonies are deeply moving experiences. If thou hast a free moment, I would be quite happy to discuss our philosophy with thee. No, God, no, no, oh, no. You're new here, you say? He grins, obviously embarrassed. I am sorry. Though the branch opened here several years ago, it is the newest branch in Britannia. I still consider myself a new branch head here. Really? Tell me about Moonglow. Ah, yes, Moonglow. It is a pleasant town. It is possible to find all sorts of people here. People? I am sorry, but I prefer not to gossip. But I will tell you all these secret things about them. Elizabeth and Abraham. Oh, what dear people. They were just here in order to give me my training session. I was just appointed branch leader. I thought you were appointed branch leader here a couple years ago. This is a new branch, thou knowest. Anyway, Elizabeth and Abraham left to travel all the way to the Gargoyle Island Turfin. The Gargoyles let the Fellowship pop up there? Oh, I'm gonna have to talk to them about that. May the Triad guide thy life. No. Let's see. Ooh. Oh my. That's going in my pouch. Got a tax. Got a tax, and we don't break gold bars. So if that's all you have, that gets taken. You see a woman with a very serious look about her. Name. She gives you a suspicious look. My name is Belena. Well, like the stuff that whales strain krill through? Job? I am the clerk for the Moonglow branch of the Fellowship. Tell me about being a clerk. It is my job to keep records during the meetings and to administrate the decisions of this branch. Tell me about the meetings. We have our meetings at 9 at night, the customary time. After Rankin's lecture, we all discuss the wonderful aspects of our life that have been enhanced by the Fellowship. Tell me about Rankin. He's the branch head here in Moonglow. She glances around cautiously. Thou art traveling through the city, correct? And eventually going to visit another city. Britain, perhaps? She shoots another glance, apparently checking for something. Finally, she leans forward, speaking with a whisper. I am unsure whether Rankin is worthy of his position. I heard him talking to that new member, Ptolemach, just before Rankin persuaded him to join. He admitted to having doubts about the Fellowship. He told Ptolemach that he thought perhaps the Fellowship encouraged its members to be nothing more than sheep, and that those really in charge were charlatans, in it simply for the money. What dost thou think about that? She leans back. It sounds like he's one of the few smart people in the Fellowship? Other than me, of course, now, being a member of the Fellowship. Moonglow? It seems to be an appropriate place to start up a branch. There are many good citizens here in Moonglow. Good, you say? She appears surprised at the statement. Well, I believe that many of the people are of strong mind and character. They're just the kind of people the Fellowship needs to go out and spread guidance and prosperity throughout Britannia. Tell me about the citizens. I am so busy with my duties that I know very few of the people here. Fiercy, the bartender, is an outstanding member of the community, as is the farmer Ptolemach. There's really farmland on this island? It looks like it's mostly, forest to me. I don't know. Ptolemach's friend Moors, though shy, is well spoken of. Also, Moors has a brother. She glances up thoughtfully. Or is he Ptolemach's brother? I am not positive whose brother he is, but I do know that I do not know that much about him. She sniffs. Tell me about guidance. Many of the people lack the discipline required to reach their highest potential. Really? You don't say. Prosperity? The Fellowship is designed to enrich the lives of everyone who resides in this fair land. Yeah, by bringing in an evil overpower to control everyone. Yeah, sure, if you say so. Fellowship? Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Yep. Alright, goodbye. Don't care about that. Goodbye, Elmindrida. Remember what I have told thee. Well. Oh dear. Oh, it looks like the seal on this box is just, broken. Oh, and the coins are just, they're just falling right into Dupre's pocket. Oh, we'll have to do something about that. That is a most unfortunate, turn of events. What do we have down here? Hey, paved pathway. And fountains. What do we have? No idea what that did. No idea what that did. Alright, well. Who knows? Hey, statues of me, except they're male. I resent that. What can we loot? Nothing. Wonder what that could be. Oh, I'm sure it's entirely innocent. There's nothing there. A gold sextant, a kite, glass item, green cheese. Ooh. You see a scholarly-looking man with a friendly expression. Name. Why, thou mayest call me Brian. Job? I am the head of the observatory here in Moonglow, he says proudly. This is where the telescope is kept. There were quite a few telescopes in the previous game, weren't there? Telescope? I have it upstairs, of course. Thou art welcome to use it as often as thou wishest. In fact, I also have an orrery, shouldst thou desire to see that as well. An orrery, you say? The orrery? Why, 'tis a model of all the planets in our solar system, including the 2 moons of Britannia. The orrery moves to match the actual current orbits of our real system. I am very excited, for shortly a very rare event will occur. What kind of event? Thou art referring to what we in the business call the astronomical alignment. The planets and the moons will all line up perfectly, something that happens only once every 800 years. Tell me about Moonglow. Why, I love living here in Moonglow. I very much like the people here. People? Hast thou spoken with my twin, Nelson? He heads the Lycaeum. Or a lad. I am sure thou knowest about the mage Penumbra. Hey, Penumbra! Tell me about Nelson first. I do not see him as often as I would like, for we are so heavily involved with our work. He will be easy to recognize shouldst thou see him, for people tell us we look identical. You said you were twins, didn't you? That would make sense. I do not see it, of course, for not only was he born with the brains, but also the handsome face. Tell me about a lad. Poor lad. He sometimes joins me at night to view the heavens. He has been trying to leave Moonglow for many years. He likes the island, but is filled with wanderlust. He smiles. What about Penumbra? Thou hast not heard? Why, 200 years ago she put herself to sleep. Before thou dost depart, let me show thee a few of my trinkets. Here is my... sextant. He hands you a solid gold sextant. This has been passed on to each and every individual who has ever held a position at the observatory here in Moonglow. 'Tis more than 200 years old. He beams as you return it to him. The kite. He shows you a kite. I made this myself by reading one of the books in my brother's library. The moon? This represents one of the moons that orbit Britannia. He hands the model to you. Yes. Taking it, you quickly realize that it is made up entirely of green cheese. I carved it myself, he says as you return it to him. Crystals. This, he says, presenting a collection of crystals that seem to be attached in some indeterminate fashion, is an orrery viewer. It permits one to see mine orrery here from anywhere in Britannia. He seems thoughtful. I know thou cannot stay around here to see the alignment. Wouldst thou like to have this to view mine orrery and better predict the planet's position? Why, yes, I would. He smiles proudly. I thought thou wouldst. However, there is one problem. I still need one more crystal to completely finish the viewer. If thou wouldst visit the tavern, thou mightest find one of the merchants or travelers there, who sometimes provides me with crystals. If thou canst find another crystal, I will be able to give thee the completed viewer. All right, I'm done. Goodbye. Good day, my lady. Thou mayst use mine observatory as often as thou wishest. I need to borrow your model of the moon. Thank you. Yes. Don't worry. We promise we will only eat it a little bit. There you are, Spark. There you go, Spark. And there you go, Jana. And that is just an empty one. Small orrery. That is so neat. Alright, let's take a look at these books. Lord British, the biography of Britannia's longtime ruler. I think we've read that one. Murder by Mongbat by J. Dial. This extraordinary work depicts an enthralling but far too gory thriller. Chapter after chapter describes innovative and impressive ways to disembowel people and animals. Ooh, I should take that. And then there was Karen by B. McDay. Within the pages of this tome are words that relate the story of how one man's life was changed by a woman both during their relationship and after. The tale is bittersweet, but both survive to become happier people with better outlooks on their lives, and without the fellowship as well. Ringworld by Larry Niven. I don't need to read that. The intrinsic complexities of investigating a new species of flora in the land of Britannia by Perrin. This scientific journal describes, with examples, the process by which one studies plant life. The book is divided into multiple sections, one for the layman, one for the hobbyist, and one for the learned scholar, and includes a warning about the difficulties of gathering specimens from the poisonous swamps. Fascinating. 13 months in a year. Uralin. This epic details a long, fierce war between swords and spells in a fictional land called Corellithra. The story revolves around a family of sorcerers. In an attempt to usurp his father's power, the youngest brother forms an evil plot of patricide and must be stopped by an outside group of sellswords. I wonder if this is a reference to some other Origin game. I don't know. I do not know. That was that one. Okay. What do we have here? The Day It Didn't Work. Alright, I believe we've read that one. No One Leaves, the sequel to The Day It Didn't Work. I'm pretty sure we've read that one. A Complete Guide to Britannian Minerals, Precious and Semi-Precious Stones. I am pretty sure that I've read that one. Black Moon, Red Day by Uralin. This novel is set in 13 months in a year's Corellithra. The story describes an epic struggle of man against nature as shifting celestial bodies cause violent changes in the land. In the end, only the mighty supernatural abilities of a sorceress family can prevent global destruction. No idea. How the West Was by Euclidia. This tome of history tracks the geography of Britannia from the early centuries to the more recent times. The included maps provide a level of detail never before seen in a work of this nature. In addition, the short chapter on the once important virtues reveals their source from the broader tenets of truth, love, and courage. Once important virtues? I resent that. Follow the Stars by Lornan. This is a guidebook for navigating, with most of the pages illustrated by various constellations and heavenly bodies. The final sections contain maps useful to any shipmate or captain. How nice. What is that? Cooking utensils, okay. Not going to tell me what you are. Huh. We'll look at that in a moment. I like these glass walls. They're pretty nice. What do we have in here besides the Elvis portrait there? Lockpick. Don't need a lockpick. Anything over here? Got a few books. Brommer's Britannia. I believe we've read that one. I'm positive, in fact. Blade of the Griffin Barony. I read that one. Outpost by Gasreth. Betwixt the covers of this volume is invaluable reading for all soldiers. I think we've read that one, actually. The Light Until Dawn. I believe we've read that one. Shoot the Moon by Oswald. Herein can be found the guidebook for Druidic culture. Details on rituals, spells, and the organizational structure fill the rather large number of pages that make up this fine wellspring of knowledge. Might have read that one. Up is Out by Goodfellow. Herein is discussed the most current theories on gravity and mass. After years of study and research, the author finally put the fruits of his labor down on the pages of this tome, which includes his discussion on falling apples. And Brommer's Fauna. Actually, I don't know that we've read that one. Betwixt the covers of this book can be found details of the most prevalent animals that inhabit the lands of Britannia. Deer are quite prevalent in the forested areas of Britannia. They are shy creatures, generally shunning the presence of man, whom they know hunt them. Atop their head sits a pair of antlers. The fox is a small animal, akin to a dog or a wolf. It is an omnivore, and more than willing to make off with a farmer's chicken when it tires of other foods. Brommer's Flora. I believe we've read that one. And Stealing the Wind. I think we've read that one. Alright. Do we have anything up here? Oh, we've got a telescope out there, which we will take a look at eventually. But first, we do have a little something that we can do here. I can see a lever there. So let us see what we can do with that. This is, in fact, the only way to get here. Boom! Nice! Now we can go in here. Ooh. That would, in fact, be the orrery. Nothing to steal over there. Planet. The planet Britannia! Oh, hey! We are the center of the universe. Fantastic. Planet. Ooh, look at the nice glowing rings on that. I have no idea what any of these other planets are. That must be the sun, which is apparently outside of Britannia.
Go away!
Oh! Why be so mean to me? It's not nice. I just want to look at the crystal ball. Such a mean guardian. Alright, well, I think we're done here. We can easily get downstairs. Let us go see what the... Oh, hey. Yeah, you can actually look around here. Neat. This is probably like what the Wizard Eye spell does. Of course, it's basically just moving without moving, so... I think I'm done there. Alright. Oh wait, actually, there was one room that we have not been into yet. Let us see if there is anything. No. Yeah, we have been in there. Never mind. Alrighty. Well, I guess we're done here. Anyone injured? I'm not sure if those heal or not, but they might. Ah, Shimino. Let's see if they heal. That one does not. That one does not. Damn it! Just plain old stupid... Yeah. It's rude. Oh yeah, I was gonna go to the Lycaeum. Let's do that. I will kill you, Fox. Don't worry. Your death is coming. Just not yet. Alright, let's see. What do we have in here? Can't look at that. Brommer's Flora. The Ascendants of Armory. I've read that one. Not going to read the title again. Apothecary's Desk reference. Looked at that one. You see a woman who meets your gaze with an icy stare. Name? I am Zelda. Oh, is there a little elfin guy in a green outfit gonna come save you or something? Job? I am the advisor at the Lycaeum. Tell me about the Lycaeum. She rolls her eyes. The Lycaeum is the building in which thou dost stand. It is a great library designed to house a wealth of knowledge. Though the structure has changed a bit over the past 200 years, the essence of learning has not. Yeah, you kind of lost the basements. Advisor? Yes, she says. My job is to manage and regulate the events in the Lycaeum. And, she adds, provide assistance to the people here in Moonglow. When they need it. Events? I am in charge of maintaining the reading areas and bringing in new books. In addition, I help organize special group sessions for Jillian's tutorials and set up educational entertainment programs. Oh, hey, that's good. Townspeople? I have little time for this, she sighs. I know only the Lycaeum head and his twin, Brian, at all well. The trainer also studies here in the Lycaeum. She looks up at the ceiling, as if reading from an invisible overhead list. Thou dost already know about Penumbra. Maria is here. If thou wishest to know about a member of the Fellowship, ask the clerk there. Otherwise, she eyes you coldly, let me return to my duties. As an afterthought, she adds, and keep thy voice down. People are trying to read, and you're just wandering around your room. Tell me about Jillian. Jillian? She is very well behaved, and quiet and tidy. I believe she is an excellent scholar. If thou art going to seek her out, try not to overturn any shelves. Some new books have just arrived, and I have not finished placing all of them. Maria. Well, they say she used to be an adept mage, but all I see is a woman who wanders around complimenting the furniture. Thou mayest speak to her if thou wishest, but I doubt she will make sense to thee. And do not disorganize the shelves while looking for her. But that's the fun thing, the Lycaeum head. Nelson is very competent, although a little eccentric. I do wish he would refrain from showing off his collection of trinkets to everyone who enters the building. It always makes such a commotion. Tell me about Brian. Her chilly expression melts away. Brian, she says, smiling, is very open-minded and idealistic. He knows the heavens quite well. Someone's got a crush. She looks up to emphasize heavens. But I find him very attractive. But I do not know how to convey mine intentions. She turns away shyly. Well, you could, I don't know, tell him, whatever. Unless, perchance, milady will aid me, she asks hopefully. Wilt thou agree to tell him for me, milady? Sure. Thank thee, milady, thank thee, she blushes. For thy kindness, I will give thee this white potion I found once while straightening the basement. There is no basement anymore. Penumbra. She shakes her head, muttering, Why doth she waste my time in this manner? Looking back up at you, she says, Penumbra is the sage who put herself to sleep 2 centuries ago. Rumor has it that only the Avatar can awaken her. What about new books? Yes, they arrived not long ago, including the recently rediscovered copy of De Maria and Spector's work, The Avatar Adventures. If thou canst avoid creating too much of a disturbance, I recommend it to thee. Avatar Adventures? If I tell thee this last thing, wilt thou depart so I may return to my job? Yes. We discovered the tome in the lower depths of the basement. We have no way to account for the accuracy of the contents, but have noticed many parallels between the events in the work and the events of Britannia's recent history. The book is a copy of the Avatar's diary, written about 200 years ago during her most recent visit to Britannia. Of course, she smiles sardonically, it has been annotated by others. It was recently published to give the general public more courage and confidence. My diary! They published my diary! Now goodbye! Ah, bastards. Corinna's total body workout. Alright, well. Let's see, was there anything in Maria's bookshelf? No, there was not. Alright, let's see, anything in here? Nothing in there. Let's look at the books. Murder by Mongbat. Ultima, The Avatar Adventures by Russell de Maria and Caroline Spector. Oh, hey, Warren has a wife. Within the pages of this tome are the details of many adventurous exploits of the Avatar, beginning with after the destruction of Exodus. The details within this book are amazingly accurate, and the descriptions should prove to be surprisingly vivid. Did it mention anything about Eoden? Salutations, Elmendretta. I was not actually trying to talk to you, but oh well. Name. You notice how he's on his, the thing that he's holding is on the opposite side. Thou mayest call me Nelson. Can I call you something else? Job. I am the Lycaeum head here in Moonglow, but, he leans close to you, mine assistant Zelda does most of the work. Moonglow? I love the island and the people. Mostly the people. Zelda? She is an excellent assistant. The Lycaeum has never performed better. However, she's a little too stern, I believe, and she leans in again. He leans in again. I think she is quite beautiful. People. Hast thou met my twin brother? He heads the observatory here, and somewhere in the Lycaeum thou canst find Maria. Sadly, she is not well up here. He touches his head. Jillian the Sage also studies here in the Lycaeum. A good person to see about other residents of Moonglow would be the bartender at the Friendly Knave. Fiercy knows almost all of us here on the island. Oh, and thou must not forget the legend of Penumbra. 'Twas 200 years ago that she cast herself into a deep slumber. Now that I think about it, Elmandretta, thou art the one she predicted would awaken her. Better hasten, milady, he chuckles. Stern, you say? She has put an extraordinary amount of effort into ensuring the activities in this edifice happen smoothly. And, he adds, she takes it personally when they do not. Tell me about your twin. His name is Brian. People often mistake us for each other, but I think we are nothing alike. He got all the looks and the brains. Huh, interesting. Tell me about Maria. She was once an adept mage, but ever since the wizards began losing their, faculties, she followed suit. Tell me about Jillian. She rarely has time for visitors, but I know she takes on students every now and then. Fiercy? That one keeps up on his politics, or rather his gossip, he says, grinning. If thou dost want to learn about a resident of Moonglow, visit him. Tell me about Penumbra. Interestingly enough, no one has ever discovered how to enter her house. I believe those mysterious signs on the door require one to have specific items to place next to the plaques. Beautiful, you say. Dost thou not agree? I am flushed whenever her fair presence passes by. But, he holds up his index finger, I fear she does not share a mutual attraction. And she is far too serious for me to feel comfortable with the proposal. Zelda's feelings. Oh, well, he shrugs in an attempt at indifference. She was not truly important anyway. Goodbye. Of course, thou mayest have free reign of the building, but first, he grins, let me show thee my, book stand. Solid brass bookstand has matching overhanging candle holder for late-night exploration and literature. I invented it myself. Bookmark? This, he says, holding a solid gold sheet shaped like a maple leaf, I purchased at an auction for only half of its value. Uh-huh. And your quill holder? He shows you a serpent-shaped oaken quill holder. I guess it's that. That's the solid gold maple leaf-shaped bookmark, and that's the book stand. This I picked up while traveling through. Thou canst guess it, Serpent's Hold. But, he appears puzzled, I could have sworn the matching letter opener was here as well. How odd. Book. He gingerly pulls out a leather-bound tome. From his robe, he removes a handkerchief and meticulously wipes away the dust. This was given to me by Lord British himself. See, 'tis the first edition. The book he carefully places in your palms is very old, and the gold leaf plating of the title has been almost entirely rubbed off. Turning the book right side up, you can read the title, Stranger in a Strange Land. Alright, we're done here. Goodbye. Good day, milady. Thou of course dost have free reign of the Lycaeum. Why, thank you. Stranger in a Strange Land by Robert Heinlein, first edition. The struggles of an individual from another planet who finds difficulty assimilating into his new society and culture. That's definitely not Lord British. Gargoyle like me, I'm pretty sure we've read that one. Trees and Then Some, by Ben. Previously titled My Life as a Woodcutter, this classic volume pleased readers more than 2 centuries ago. Hey, we remember that woodcutter. Much of it reads like a journal, with humorous commentary added by the author between groups of entries. Day 7. Today received yet another order for more logs. Day 11. I'm amazed at how frequently people are requesting my services. There is no longer any doubt to the rumors of the rapid growth of Britannia's urban areas. Day 16. Found new species of tree. Has silver-looking leaves like that sparkle and grow quite large. Size indicates that the trees live very, very long, but grow slowly. Day 28. Had an odd request for a few of these new silverleaf trees. Day 40. Number of requests for silverleaf has nearly matched that of ordinary trees. Wonder what they could want them for. I wonder why everyone has become so crazy for these special trees. I doubt even one so insane as Lord British's Chuckles would pass these off as any sort of precious metal. Though if anyone would, we all know it would be the man who carries so much weight with Lord British. The weight of wine bottles, that is. A Baker's Handbook by Setlar. The fundamentals for baking all come from knowledge of how to perform one simple task, baking bread. If thou art able to do that, thou canst bake anything, from meat pies to tarts for thy guests. Watery tarts? It is important to set the flour first upon the table. Many bakers prefer to manipulate the dough on the hearth itself, but I prefer preheating the hearth. It makes for the more thorough baking, so that is not possible. To the flour, add water and mix until the two are well combined. The dough shall be damp enough to be kneaded easily, but it should not be running. But it should not be running, is what that should be. Now is the time to place the dough on the hearth and bake it. After but a few minutes, thou wilt have quite tasty bread to eat. Now, the next item will prove a true treat for thy loved ones. I believe we've looked at all the books there now. Alright, let's see. Anything in the... no. What could be left but the ashes and flames? Herein are the many essays covering an in-depth study of the aftermath of a volcanic eruption. The work was extensively researched and is filled with testimonials from many a survivor. The most interesting story is told by Fendora, a young woman from Minnock, who claims to have experienced a volcanic eruption near every one of the 5 towns in which she has lived. Fascinating. Alright, we've read that one. Land ships. Read that one. Thy Message Received by Forlem, translated by Jillian. I believe we've read that one. Up is Out. Follow the Stars. Read that one. The Right Stuff. Pretty sure we've read that one. Oh, it's that one again. Transitive Vampire. Birds of Britannia by Brother Wayne. Bound here is the comprehensive guide to the avian species, beautifully and colorfully illustrated by many different artists. Surprising to many is that the silver-winged farsalot is not the most prevalent bird in Britannia, though arguably the most visible. Far more popular is the black-tipped grackle, but its predilection for dark, cool areas make it considerably less visible. It should be considerably. Mempto Rays, and there was one last book on this table. Weaving by Carlin. I think we've read that one. Excuse me, lady. I think it's a lady. Yes, it is. You see a young woman with an intellectual bearing. Name. I am Jillian, milady. Job. I am a scholar, milady. I also tutor and train those who seek knowledge here in Moonglow. Moonglow? The town occupies most of the entire island of the same name. The island located due east of the... and a few degrees south of the city of Britain. Tutor. My price is 35 gold for each training session. Art thou willing to pay that? No. Then I really should return to my studies. Okay, apparently there's nothing else to talk to her about. Fare thee well, Elmadretta, she says, returning to her previous activity. Well, fine, be that way. I'm just going to open these doors then. Well, what do we have up here? Oh, hey, Maria. Pretty sure we've talked to her as much as we can. Knight's Bridge in a Nutshell. We've read that one. A Water on the Cat by Mousy. This text is a humorous diatribe and should be taken as nothing more than such. Any of the following activities should only be performed when water is abundant enough to be in surplus. Droughts are serious business, and this work is in no way designed to indicate otherwise. The editor. The using of a bucket to draw water from a well takes nothing more than common sense. However, upon what to use the water is often a more difficult question to answer. Cats are, of course, my personal favorite objects of such torture, but thy friends will usually do quite nicely, provided they have no form of retaliation and are not quick to anger. Children are a little less choice, though considerably more deserving, for their parents do often anger quickly when their offspring is threatened. I might have to try that. To Be or Not to Be by Wizlem. To be the words comprising the complete Gargish primer, designed to educate the young gargoyle mind, both winged and wingless. 101 Ways to Cheat at Nim by Dr. Cat. I believe we've read that one. Let's see. Click on that book. A short treatise on Britannian society by Clayton. The hierarchy of the peoples of Britannia follows a traditional order. Though little here is meant to be law, the entire content was compiled from observations made throughout the land. All citizens of Britannia, obviously, owe allegiance to their just and noble Lord British. The next in line to receive our respect are the members of the Great Council, which comprises one citizen from each town or city in Britannia. Members of the Great Council are followed by the winged gargoyles, for they are highly educated and well-versed in all manner of matters of life. Many a winged friend has supplied words of wisdom to a traveler venturing through Turfin. Just below the winged gargoyles follow the wondrous masses of humanity, without whom the economic and governmental aspects would collapse. These, of course, are followed by the less worldly, but quite strong wingless gargoyles. Much of the impact upon our economic system has come from something or other. We've read that one. Chicken Raising by Dahanes is Gone. Dahanes Gone? I think we've read that one. Modern Necromancy. Pretty sure we've read that. Man versus Fish, the ultimate conflict. Aquasteer. Thou mightest consider fishing to be an activity designed simply to feed thy family. Familty? Daily thou takest thy fishing pole, and trod to the lake in hopes to catch thy dinner. However, say I, fishing is much more. A fisherman is much like a knight, off to conquer the terrible dragon. Certainly, the terrain is familiar, just as a knight's homeland is to him, but conquest is where the real comparison lies. While a knight carries with him a great and powerful sword, the fisherman must arm himself with a sturdy pole. Of course, another important weapon for the fisherman is his mind. He will need a keen sense of observation to aid him in his struggle against the slippery opponents. The first thing he must do is search for a body of water where the fish are so common that they are forced to jump above the water simply to have room for others. A lake or pond filled with fish will provide the wise fisherman a better opportunity for an encounter. And how does a fisherman catch his prey? Not by sitting idly by and waiting for them to jump into his pail. For once the creature grabs hold of the bait, the fisherman must fight and thrash his way as if attacking the very beast itself. Minutes seem to turn to hours as the warrior battles with his fish, until finally all energy spent from both sides, the fish is dragged unwillingly into the waiting bucket. And then the process must begin anew. Yeah, I think that's an exaggeration. That's that one. Pathways of Planar Travel. Art of Field Dressing. The Symbology of Runes. Thou art what thee eats. Jesse's Book of Performance Art by Jesse. I believe we've read that one. The Day It Didn't Work. Another copy of that. Ritual Magic by Nicodemus. I believe we've read that one. Miscellaneous Cantrips Anonymous. As the title says, this book describes the minor spells that fall into the bailiwick of charlatans and prestidigitators. Prestidigitation. That's a great word, isn't it? On Acting, Laurence Olivier. Read that one. Play Directing, Analysis, Communication, and Style. I believe we've read that one. Lord British, the biography of Britannia's longtime ruler. Read that one. Alright, let's see what else we have. I'm just going to spend the rest of this episode looking at these books. Reading anything that we haven't read. Ringworld, another copy of that. Man, there's a lot of copies of Ringworld around here. Gone with the Wisp. Pretty sure we've read that one. Mandibles by Peter Munchley. Held between the covers of this book is an action-adventure novel about a man-eating sea creature who terrorizes a small coastal town for several months. So, Jaws, in other words. Dolphin in the Dunes by Pietro Human. Contained within the pages of this book is what seems to be an allegory for human familial relations. The work is obviously fiction, but the understones suggest extensive study of human's part. Halfway through the work, the point of view shifts, permitting the reader to see multiple sides of each issue. I think we might have actually read that one. No Time to Dance. I'm pretty sure we've read that one. The Winning Number by A.P. Burke. Herein is a sequel to 5 Stages of Lawn Care. This novel, which focuses on the same two men, is set 10 years after the former work. Might have read that one, but it wasn't very long. 5 Stages of Lawn Care. Struck Commander. Collected Plays by Raymundo. Everything an Avatar Should Know About Sex. Ah, good book. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Needs more James Bond. And then there was Karen. How to Conquer the World in 3 Easy Steps. Kodavar. 13 Months in a Year. Did we read Kodavar? Yeah, I think so. Read that one. When Starts the Adventure by Sabra. Herein can be found a novel relating the travels of a fledgling warrior struggling to gain skill and respect in a treacherous world. As the warrior gains experience in dealing with opposition, he begins to notice how well the land is balanced in ideology. For every evil, there seems to be a good, and vice versa. I think we read that one, actually. What a Fool Believes by P. Nolan. Within the pages of this book is the story of a bard, a blonde, and a bottle. The perfect combination for a classic tale of the war between the sexes. You say so. Sir Kilroy by Anonymous. This novel details the rise of a shining white knight driven to madness by the woman in his life. Domo Arigato. The Blade of the Griffin Barony, read that one. Ribald Encounters, read that one. Bloody Blades and Bucks and Beauties, read that one. The 111-year, 3-month, 7-day war. I think we've read that one. Two in the Fold by Maureen. Herein lies a fable of treachery in the fair city of Britain. A despicable guild of thieves who seek political power, and the government sends 2 of its best members to infiltrate the royal castle. The true conflict arises when 2 of the royal guards begin to bicker so violently with each other that they miss important pieces of evidence, if evidence, that lead to the 2 thieves. The Summer of My Satisfaction by Plexus. The story within this novel relates the tale of good King Kettle, who rules a great land without any troubles. It seems like a boring story. The Knight and the Thief by Hobbes. This novel describes the life of an heroic warrior suffering from delusions of an alternate life as a rogue and cutpurse. I Am Not a Dragon by Thompson. Within the pages is a bawdy tale of Belnarth, fictional Lord of Serpent's Hold. This volume is part 1 of a great trilogy involving the humorous exploits of the Lord and his fellow knights. I think we might have read some of those, but whatever. The Bioparaphysics of the Healing Arts, we've read that one. The Silence of Chastity by I.M. Monk. The treatise on the monks of the Brotherhood of the Rose, including how they compare to their stereotypes. One common misconception is that the monks still hold on to the outdated notion that silence is golden. While this was perhaps a tenet they supported as late as 103, no longer do the monks of the renowned Empath Abbey care to remain speechless. There is no doubt that monks love wine. Not only are there more monk stories centering on the creation of wine, but any visit to the abbey will reveal just how much of the entire building is devoted to the formation of the delicious mixture. The Carver Chronicles by Morphin. Here, finally, in one volume are the details of the skills necessary for butchering. The work discusses several contemporary styles, including the author's own. Be warned, noble reader, that Morphin leads into a graphic level of detail that would turn the stomach of all but the toughest meat carvers. Well, I think I'm fine. I've carved plenty of meat. A guide to childcare for the rich and famous. I believe we've read that one. The Book of Circles, translated from Gargish to Britannian by Gillian. All begins with the 3 principles: control, passion, and diligence. From control springs direction. From passion springs feeling. From diligence springs persistence. But these 3 virtues are no more important than the other 5. Control combines with passion to give balance. Passion combines with diligence to yield achievement. And diligence joins with control to provide precision. The absence of control, passion, and diligence is chaos. Thus, absence of the principles points toward the 7th virtue, order. The 3 principles unify to form singularity. This is the 8th virtue. 8th virtue, huh? But it is also the first, because within singularity can be found all the principles, and thus all the virtues. A circle has no end. It continues forever, with all parts equally important to the success of the whole. Our society is the same. It too continues forever, with all members and all virtues equal parts of the unified whole. Which book was that? Hither Comes the Rain. I believe we've read that one. What Color is Thy Blade? We've read that one. Hero Fertilizer. We've read that one. Encyclopedia Britannia. M to P. Here is another volume in a long series of books detailing every known geographical location and historical personage. This tome covers Kanos, a historical tower in ancient Yu, through Pusmorin, the originator of the rarely used fourth-person point of view. I'm curious about this fourth-person point of view. What could be left but the ashes and flames? Oh, I just got that. Oh, that's horrible. Vargas's Stories of Legend. Reasons why one should never build doors facing north or west. Ah, we've read that one. Brahmer's Britannia. Read that one. Brahmer's Fauna. Karena's Pregnancy Workout. Karena's Workout. Oops. White Rain by Perrin. This detailed tome is filled with descriptions of the various effects winter weather has on plants and animals in Britannia. The Forest of Yu by Taylor. Though once the large, prosperous city of Justice, Yu has been swallowed by the deep forest. However, let not it be said that this turn of events was not by the will of the people. As the cities grew throughout the land, many found it difficult to continue peaceful existences as simple farmers and herders. More and more it became necessary to learn trades involving the exchange of goods and services, and there was considerably less instances of self-sufficiency. While most Britannia found this pleasing, there were those who wanted to return to the less mechanical side of life, and those same people, many of whom came from Yu, began to populate the deep forest. Though it will not be long before the growing cities and towns catch up to them, for now they are able to lose themselves amongst the trees, the deer, and the emps. Oddly enough, very few people have actually encountered these ape-like creatures. Little is known about them. They seem to shun human contact. However, observations have revealed that they are definitely herbivores, never eating meat. The emps forge homes from the wood of dead trees and build shelters high up in the limbs of silverleaf trees. Of course, emps are not the only creatures who... blah blah blah. Blacksmith's Handbook. Provisioner's Guide to Useful Equipment. Encyclopedia Britannica Volume 5, V to Z. Here is another volume in the long series of books, blah blah blah. This tome covers Vargas, contemporary storyteller and compiler of legendary parables, through Xiand, a prehistoric island. Q through U features Quaxatlornicom, the mythological snow beast of the north, through Utopia, the proposed manifestation of the time-honored concept of a perfect society. F through L covers Falga, the ancient sage of reptiles, through Lycaeum, the renowned library that is now a part of Moonglow. And A to E, so it covers Akara, the first mayor of Trinsic, through Exodus, the vile offspring of Mundane and Minax. The Right Stuff. Land ships of war. Wait, there's a land ships and land ships of war? I think we've read that one. Outpost, we've read that one. I've read that one. History of Stonegate. Hey, that book is here too. Nice. I wonder if literally every book is here. My cup runneth over. To the Death. And No Way to Jump. Pretty sure we've read all those. Okay. One last room, and then we will call it an episode. What do we have in here? Oh, more books, of course. How the West Was. Transitive Vampire. I've got multiple copies of some of these books. Why Good Mages Like Black Magic. Spring Planting, Autumn Harvest. Here, held within these pages, is the explanation of agriculture in detail, including the much misunderstood mulching process. The middle section is an illustrated guide to many gardening implements. including the Hoe of Destruction. Milord Conduct. Found within is a description of the proper behavior for courtiers and courted individuals. The book reveals many different techniques for both polite and impolite seduction. Oh my. Shoot the moon. Let's see, what do we have here? Up is out. The light until dawn. Vargas' stories of legend. My message received. The Scent of Valor by Wetterson. I think we've read that one. Tren. We've definitely read that one. Follow the Stars. Stealing the Wind. Wait, what was that? Oh yeah, that's a kite. The Complete History of the Lute by Devonalian with foreword by the Master Bard Iolo. I think we've read that one. I remember the foreword by Iolo. The Trio by Lee Pearson. Compiled from the music of 3 Master Bards, this full volume contains a collection of songs for a variety of stringed and percussion instruments. And the Dragon Compendium. I believe we've read that one. Alright, that looks like that is about all of the books in the Lycaeum. We have finished reading them all. What the heck is that? That is a seal. Interesting. I don't think I've seen that seal before. Alright, well, for now, I'll go ahead and end the episode here, and in the next one, we will head south to see what further mischief we can get into in Moonglow. See you then, everyone.